Cultivation, WN, Chapter 10. Beauty waiting by the door. Elder Lan banged on the doors to Su Yang's living quarters, but the person who came out to greet them a moment later was Tang Hu, Su Yang's roommate. Elder Lan, he looked more terrified than surprised to see a sect elder banging at his door. Did he do something that had managed to offend this elder? This disciple greets. Bring disciple Su Yang out here, Elder Lan interrupted. Su Yang? He left some time ago. What? Where did he go? Elder Lan frowned. Don't tell me he went to the training ground while I went to get Chi Yu, she thought. He didn't tell me where he'd go. Sis, Elder Lan, perhaps senior apprentice brother Su went to the training ground like usual. You, tell Su Yang, when he comes back, that I am looking for him with urgent matters that cannot be delayed. Elder Lan then stormed off to the training grounds again, leaving Tang Hu dumbfounded and wondering what on earth Su Yang did to offend a respected sect elder such as Elder Lan. Elder Lan and Chi Yu went straight to the training grounds in hopes to see a handsome young man standing beside his poor-looking sign, but alas, he was nowhere to be seen. This disciple greets Elder Lan. Have any of you seen a disciple named Su Yang? The one who usually stands there like an idiot? Elder Lan asked the disciples training there, but all of them shook their heads. Where is that kid? Chi Yu, go ask around and see if anyone has seen Su Yang. If you cannot find him within the hour, come back here and meet with me. If you find him, then bring him here. If I do not come back after an hour, then I should have already found him. Okay. Elder Lan then looked at the disciples there and said, if any of you see disciple Su Yang, tell him that Elder Lan is looking for him. If you can find him for me, then I will award you with 100 premium points. 100 premium points? That's as much as a high-risk mission would award. The disciples there became excited from the mission given to them by Elder Lan. Someone as handsome as Su Yang must be an easy sighting, right? And the fact that almost all outer court disciple knows his face only makes this mission easier. The disciples scrambled out of the training grounds as though there was an ongoing fire. And for the first time since the sect's opening, the training ground looked deserted. Somewhere in the outer court, Su Yang was casually flipping through pages for a book. Sitting beside him are books and scrolls that piled all the way above his head. He was in the library, where hundreds of records and even cultivation techniques were gathered. This library, the Profound Library, is a place that rents out its resources to its disciples and elders alike. Whether it'd be an ancient record about myths and legends or a scroll containing a profound cultivation technique, they have it all. Su Yang was trying to learn more about this world that he was mysteriously thrown into. However, in this mortal world, there was little to no information on the places he knew. The Moon God's Palace, the Heavenly Temple, even the land of gods that everybody and their mother in his previous life knew are unknown in this world or remain as mere legends and myths. Am I really in the same world, or was I reincarnated into a foreign world? One that I have no knowledge of? Su Yang placed the book down and sighed, his gaze filled with doubt. But there are also many things here that I am familiar with, such as the pure yang flower. Even the cultivation stages here are the same. In his previous life, Su Yang traveled not just his own world, but all 4 worlds that shared the same universe. If he was thrown into any of these 4 worlds, he should know right away, yet he doesn't have the slightest clue as to where he is currently. This is clearly the mortal world, but what is this eastern continent? How long has it been since I left the eternal retribution cliff? Countless questions that have no answers appeared in his mind. After glancing through a few more scrolls, Su Yang came to a conclusion. If he does not leave this sect and learn more about this world, then he will surely never see those he loves again. However, it was still early for him to leave, mainly because he is currently too weak. With his cultivation base, he can forget about surviving the wilderness, let alone find his lovers that are scattered across the starry sky. At his current stage, any expert within the cultivation world could easily crush him with a single finger, so he could only stay holed up in this sect until he has a sufficient cultivation base that would allow him to travel without too much danger. Su Yang took a deep breath, and he looked at the beauties that walked in and out of the library. The moment I obtain the pure yang flower, that is when I will truly begin cultivating. His gaze flickered with a profound light. Su Yang stayed in the corner of the library until the sunset arrived, and he finally decided to leave. After tidying up the place, Su Yang left the library and went back to his living quarters, where a mature woman stood in front of his door with an irritated expression on her face. The moment the mature woman saw Su Yang, her eyes widened. Su Yang, where have you been all day? Do you have any idea how long I have been waiting here for you? A mere disciple like you dare to make a sect elder like me wait all day in front of your door? Do you have any idea how much face I have lost today because of you? Su Yang smiled at the sight of Elder Lan fuming with anger, something he found somewhat cute and charming. Greetings, Elder Lan. What business does a respectful sect elder such as yourself have with me, a mere outer court disciple? He greeted her with a bow. HMPH, talking outside would be inappropriate. Let us talk inside. Very well. Su Yang approached the door calmly, keeping a smile on his face.